Captain Heaney died. He was murdered. The captain of the ship was murdered.
But then who's driving the ship?
The helmsman?
Okay. Is that how ships work?
I don't know. I don't have a ship degree.
And I believe everyone was going to be investigating because of
Because adventure!
yes.
Also, if I may interrupt, Ed, if your character doesn't know anything about ships and how ships work and have a degree in shipping, you really shouldn't be complaining about my character blowing up your ship. Just
That could have happened on anyone's ship.
and because of Luke's presence and vouching for his companions, that you are all able to partake in the investigation. Many of the crew block off the captain's quarters as you guys are allowed to investigate. So what you have here is you have the captain's quarters. The captain, James Heady, is slouched back in his chair, his head all the way back, his arms slack at both sides, his throat having been torn open. There is blood spray on the wall in front of him. He was sitting at his desk at the time. There's about, I'd say, 3 feet between him and the wall.
And is that space entirely occupied by his desk, I take it?
Yeah, that space is entirely occupied by his desk. And there is blood spray as far as 3 feet.
I just realized, I forget, did I actually ever make a doctoring roll to perform an autopsy on the corpse?
Not yet.
Okay.
We ended it right before any investigation happened.
Okay, then. In that case,
I did that on purpose.
That would be a good place to open up.
Yeah, so...
okay, question. I was just rolling. How many times do trait dice explode? Just once?
Just once, unless
Just
you're
okay.
using flare.
All right, so you're doing an autopsy?
Yeah. So, that is on my... So it's intellect anatomy, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So I rolled my first d8, and that was an 8. And then I re-rolled it again because of my trait die, which got another 8.
Okay.
So that's 16 plus 5 is 21. Congrats! I've used all my luck for the rest of this session.
All right, so...
Fair, it's probably a good roll to roll really well on.
Yes.
So, Captain Heady was killed with a small but sharp blade. Given the blood spray, the blade had a serrated edge, and the killer was especially fast. A fine edge or an easy cut would not elicit splatter of that distance, so it had to tear. And it had to tear quickly. Because you also hit a DC 8, as you investigate the wound itself, you find that there are small wood chips in the victim's wound. They're very faint, but there are small wood chips, kind of in where the tear was, as if that was also on the knife. While Luke is doing that, anyone else?
This
This
is
is-
the thing she's gonna do, but she's gonna do that when very alone.
Okay.
So
Okay. Also, just so you guys know, with this investigation, the way this works is you tell me what your angle is and what you're looking for, and then I'll have you roll dice. So this isn't so much a matter of you go in, I have you roll notice, and I give you some hints.
okay.
It's very much a procedural.
Okay. In that case, my angle is Emmy is going to be speaking with the crewmen.
Okay.
She is going to find out because there were no signs of forced. If I remember right, when we earlier were everybody was at the door, there was no signs of forced entry, right?
Correct.
She is going to see. She is going to ask where they keep the keys and who would have access to them.
Okay. Go ahead and
Would that be inquiry?
yes, go ahead and roll inquiry.
Charisma plus inquiry?
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Just a suggestion, but maybe another question should be how many keys there are and like if they're all accounted for.
Well, right, yeah. That is part of it. That's sort of, I assume that was part of it, sorry. But yes, the relation to the keys basically figure out how many there are, who had access to them, where they're kept, do they currently have all of them?
All right. Go ahead and roll.
Ooh, that's only a 3.
Okay. Yeah, you begin asking around, asking the crew. You know that there are 2 keys. That all you get is that there are 2 keys. The captain usually kept both of them with him. You get from the crew that it was a very silly thing that they remember fondly. Now that he's gone, they're all fairly upset over this because these are all regular crewmen. But that's it was a silly thing that he did where he had 2 keys to his cabin, just in case he ever locked one inside. He had one in the crew quarters, but then a silly thing happened and he started carrying both of them with him at all times anyway.
Huh. What happened that caused him to do that? She is going to ask.
And he's just the crewman you're talking to is just like, it was like a habit, basically. Just one night he accidentally took both keys with him, and then it's sort of like, well, have you ever accidentally kept your coin purse on the left side instead of the right?
Perhaps.
It's sort of like it was sort of like that. It was just accidentally did a thing, and then that became habit.
Aha.
If there's any ulterior motive for that, I don't know. He never mentioned anything like that. It was a silly thing that he did all the time. We all picked on him for it.
Thank you. And then, if you allow me to do one quick thing, she's going to return to Luke and ask him if the captain has both keys on him. Then.
Okay. Yeah. This is while Luke is doing an autopsy.
Yeah, I assume this is while doing the autopsy. Just to continue this line.
Luke, your autopsy is interrupted for this, and when you check, he only has 1 key on him.
There's only 1 key here. Why do you ask?
The captain was in the habit of keeping both keys on his person at all times. There are only 2 to the captain's quarters. If he only has 1 key on him, that means one was given out or taken by someone else.
Well, in that case, that narrows it down if we can find the key.
Indeed. Should I inform the crew? I could have them search. They may be able to search the passengers' quarters for it.
Not yet. That seems more like our trump card, as it were. I'd rather not reveal that one until absolutely necessary.
If our killer's smart, they would have already dumped the key over the side to not be caught with it.
Exactly. So either a search will show how hard we're looking, or they're too dumb and haven't thought of that, and we will find the key when we have to.
All right.
Okay. And having done that now, let's go with Zaki. Former Senator Sarkis. What's are you investigating at all?
Yeah. If only because Zaki doesn't really like the idea of being around a murderer who that he doesn't know who they are.
Mhm.
So he's going to go to those Vontai gentlemen that kept to themselves the entire time.
Okay. That is Eston Prow and Christophe Dupree.
Yep. And he's going to make a suggestion.
Okay. What's your suggestion?
His suggestion is, tell me the truth. Do you know anything about what's going on here?
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
And that's fortune and suggestion, right?
Yes. You're using psychic powers.
Okay. So that's an 8.
Okay. Eston and Christoph, when you approached them and when you did approach them, they were out and on deck at the time. Both of them were wearing their night robes, and looked very annoyed when you went to approach them. But when you spoke to them, their eyes kind of glaze over for a second, and Eston is just like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And Christoph is just like, I do not expect. I do not know why you would think we would know anything about this. This man clearly was killed in his quarters, not in the tavern.
Right, just wondering. I know that you've been keeping back from the rest of us. I thought you might have seen something from your unique position, being one of the few to not overindulge.
And Eston is just like, it is true, I suppose.
Well, just thought I'd ask. I'm a little confused about what's going on myself, but hopefully this doesn't delay us too badly. Even more hopefully this doesn't prove to be the beginning of something much more terrible.
Christoph folds his arms over his chest, and Eston looks uneasy. Okay. Devereaux. What's your approach here?
Devereaux, is going to just watch everybody.
Okay. Do you have a particular? A lot of people are on deck right now, but the captain's quarters is cordoned off for you guys in particular. You guys are allowed in there to investigate.
He does not want to be in there to investigate.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? That'd probably be more of his strong suit. He'll just see if this was assassination job, or if the captain just got killed while somebody was trying to rifle through his things.
Okay, so you're looking.
He's going to do an awareness to look to see if something is misplaced or out of order.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll awareness then.
Let's see, I have a 3 in that, so that is by the system D10, I think. I need to write down.
Okay, what'd you get?
Still looking. Let's see, perception's 3. That's 3. A 9 and a 2, so an 11.
11. Okay. All right. That hits. That beats the DC 10. Something was stolen, actually, but it wasn't money. The captain had a lot of money, and that all seems to be here. Various treasures, various trophies, they're all in his room still. There's a lot to refuse to steal, which strikes you as intriguing. However, when you check under his bed, that's when you realize that something's been stolen. Checking under his bed, right under where his head would be, you find a circular burn mark, roughly the size of a fist. Whatever caused the burn mark is gone, and it looks like, given the imprint on the mattress, very recently. The burns also look recent. And now I'll call for a social awareness.
And that's just perception, social awareness, right?
Yeah.
And a 1 would be a D6. I got a 14.
1 is a 4.
1 is a 4?
Yeah.
Excuse me. I got a 13.
Okay. So, Gareth Seabright and Mary Beth Kellerman, who were part of the crew cordoning off the captain's quarters, when they see you investigating a burn mark inside, when they went and finding something missing, they pointedly leave.
I shout that to the other guards. You two, stop! Come back! Guards, seize them. There's been a theft.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an inspire roll. Charisma plus inspire.
Do I even have inspire?
If not, just roll straight charisma.
Oh, no, charm doesn't count.
No, you're not charming the guards to do something. You're commanding them to do something.
Yeah. Okay, so that would be a D6. I got a 5.
5. Okay. That and Gareth and Mary Beth take off into a sprint. They take off into a run, and they are able to do so before their fellow crewmen are able to gather their wits. They had looked back at you a little confused as to who you were even talking about, and by that point, Gareth and Mary Beth were taking off into a sprint. And they then follow after, kind of fumbling to run after them and disappear below deck.
I will chase after, yelling, "We're on a boat! There's only so far you can go!"
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you are going to be doing that.
So yeah, no.
Before
that, try to shove, chasing after them.
Now, before that happens, which I'm going to take that as being the last part of the timeline. Ariadne,
Yes.
what is your angle?
Well, I don't know much about murders, but I do know a thing or two about stalking and hunting things. So if I were to think of this less as a sentient human person having the life snuffed out of them and thought it more of someone just got really excited with some sort of kill, then maybe I'll be able to approach this better.
Okay. Okay. um.
So I'm going to try to approach this like a hunt and see if I can figure out who the hunter is.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll. Awareness of some kind.
Awareness of them. I mean, I do have hunting as a talent.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead and roll hunting.
Just straight up hunting?
Perception plus hunting.
Perception and hunting. Okay. Remind me, a 4 is a...
A 4 is a 10.
And a 2 is a...
6.
Okay. God fucking damn it. Well,
What?
how's a 4?
4?
How's that doing?
Uh,
I rolled a 1 and a 3.
I'll say as much. You just by checking through, this doesn't seem like someone was very excited for a kill. This seems very deliberate. This doesn't look.
Yeah, I'm having a hard
ravaged.
time separating myself from the reality of the situation. This is a very grisly scene.
Yeah, this doesn't look frenzied. So this doesn't look inhuman to you. This definitely looks like a very human act and very intentional. Since the only thing at all that is messed up is the captain, who had his throat slit.
So it is very clean. There's not like any trail.
Correct. Not that you could find. Okay. Now on the last part of the timeline, Devereaux chases after. Everyone, you see this. As Devereaux breaks into a run, pushing past crew and passengers alike, running downstairs, and when you anyone who wants to can follow.
Yeah, MU is probably on her way back to her room when she sees this and goes, "Oh, this seems important," and will join the chase.
So anyone who wants to be there for this can be there.
Yes.
Guess.
As
I figure maybe having someone as quick as Emmy may help in a chase.
As you guys, as everyone runs down and gets to follows the trail of shouting and commotion, and gets to the cargo area, and you guys find 4 crewmen have cornered Mary Beth and Gareth in the cargo. Mary Beth and Gareth, they draw daggers, and the other crewmen are just like, "Gareth, Mary Beth, what the fuck? Calm down." And Gareth is just like, Gareth just shouts, "Calm down." Easy for you to say. Your life isn't on the fucking line.
Emmy will step forward with a hand very visibly on the hilt of her blade.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
She will calmly say, "Your life will only be on the line if you continue to point those weapons at us. Lay them down.
Okay, at that, Zacky's just going to step forward. I think everyone needs to calm down a little bit, and he's going to psychic at them.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to intimidate them into surrendering, though.
Do both. Do
Yeah,
both.
but I'm psychic.
Whoever rolls higher, do both.
You can do both. It's true.
All right.
I seem to be rolling strictly average tonight.
Better than rolling a 4 when you have a 10 and a 6.
Mm-hmm.
That would be, I got a 6.
Okay.
I have an 8.
All right. Emmy, actually roll an extra d6.
Okay.
As Tetsuken Haru happens to step beside you with a hand on his blade now.
Well, that extra 6 rolled a 6, so make that a 10.
Between the three of you, you're able to calm this very visibly tense situation.
To basically, with a little psychic help, 2 sword masters ask 2 people wielding knives if they really want to make this a fight.
And all he does is he gives you a nod as he stepped in to your flank.
She will give a grateful nod in reply.
And yeah, with that shaking them to the core, and then Zaki calling for the situation to calm down, everyone feels a little calmer, and the Mary Beth and Gareth put their blades down. They are then immediately grabbed by the crewmen.
Emmy will look to Devereaux since she did not catch why they were chasing after them, but she assumes Devereaux knows.
Deborah?
They caught sight of the theft and ran.
Theft?
They're either thieves or they're murderers and thieves. Or they could be idiots.
That's a heavy
Let us-
line to draw.
I mean, you'd have to be an idiot to run in the middle of an investigation.
We all chased them here, didn't we?
Well, yeah, after they ran.
I think he means run away, not run in general.
Oh, okay.
Emotions do run wild. It does not stand against the reason that you will run when afraid.
I suppose the question is then, why were they afraid? She will turn to them and...
Okay. Scroll down here. Okay. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll something charm or intimidate, some kind of relevant roll. The DC is lowered because you have cornered them.
Does Zaki want to take the lead on this? For being charming, or you prefer me to do?
Realize that we all chased them down into here, so nobody's looking at the crime scene right now.
Luke's still. I don't think Luke followed.
Oh,
Yeah,
Luke...
I'm not there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Luke did not decide to run after.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, and then Zaki would stay, because if everybody had left the crime scene, Zaki would be like, "Fuck, we all fell for."
Yeah, we all
for
fell
the
for a
diversion.
ruse or something.
But if so if Zachy, I guess Zachy will stay there and he'll go up to these two and say, just tell us the truth as plainly as you can. If you're innocent, then nothing bad will happen.
Okay, go ahead. Are you commanding them?
I think that at this point, Zachy isn't big on the idea of there being a murderer he doesn't know about, so he's just gonna keep psychicking until he either blows his brain out or finds out what's going on.
Sure.
And that's a 17.
Ooh, damn.
17. Nice. Yeah, their eyes glaze over for a split second. And there's a thing I need to find. As Mary Beth is just says, all right, fine. The captain and Gareth and me, we all have had the marsh sickness. It was killing us. And Gareth just says, we had traveled to Old Zozorio, following on a story of some group calling themselves the Masquerade. Their stories said that they worship plagues and diseases and bear immunity to its effects. And the Mary Beth is just like, we found them, we caught up to them, and we were given a set of stone runes about the size of your palm that will cure you of any infection so long as you keep it beneath your pillow at night. It was real creepy stuff. All these people in red robes and masks, but it was worth a try, okay? And it seems to be working.
So why did you run when you saw there was something? Oh, geez. My laundry machine just started making a really weird noise. I have to go, guys. Sorry.
That doesn't sound good at all.
Okay.
You can't see it, but Aries making a face because she knows one way to corroborate this story, and it's probably to talk to the doctor on board.
Yep. That is the thing we can do. But to be sure, you did not take the captain's...
Check their beds to see if their amulets are still there.
And you did not take the captain's then, did you?
Go ahead and roll a inquiry. Or charm, actually, I think would be other.
Charm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Inquiry is more for mass questions.
Yeah. That's a 6.
Mary Beth just kind of says under her breath, well, I was kind of planning on it. Stealing it eventually. But not now. Not this close. Not this far. My brother is also sick, and we only had 3.
She'll turn to. She will turn to Gareth as well. Confirm the.
He nods sadly.
And yous are both accounted for?
They both nod.
And do you have any other knowledge related to who could have broken into the... Do you have any knowledge related to this on who would want to kill the captain, then? Was there anyone else aboard who knew that you 3 possessed these?
Not to our knowledge.
Yeah, she thinks, and then... She will look to the others and see if they have any more questions for these 2. She does not.
I have a question. Did either of you or the captain speak at all with that doctor on board?
Gareth just kind of shrugged his shoulders and is like, I think so. Yeah. The captain talked to most everybody. Oh, who's eating?
Someone's eating,
Whoever's
yeah.
eating, please
This
mute.
is some weird ASMR shit.
I thought my microphone was muted, and I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was pretty sure I was muted because you didn't hear me messing around with my washing machine, did you?
No.
Okay,
That's so
really-
weird, man.
Okay, I will mute from the
What
program as well. Sorry.
What is ASMR anyway? I keep hearing that.
Manda, why haven't you showed him yet?
No, it stands for autonomous sensory meridian response. It's basically like
You get brain
Alex-
tingles from listening to relaxing noises. That's the gist of it.
yeah. I'll explain it to you after the game.
Yeah. No.
Because, like, Tyler had mentioned ASMR and kind of explained a video relating to it, but I didn't quite understand it.
It's getting okay. It's for really weird and really big right now for some weird reason because it's kind of turned into a meme. But it's kind of guided meditation is an example of ASMR. Someone
Okay.
whispering, having a sensory experience. It's just basically a way to give you a weird sensory experience, and some people really kind of like it. Some people say it helps with like meditating or with like sleeping or some sort of emotional response. That's
I use it to help me sleep
the
personally.
cliff notes of ASMR.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
sometimes it's just a person rolling a headset near gravel.
Yep.
Let's see. So you got a 6, by the way, for getting them to talk more. Zach?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's all they have to say.
Well, then, I mean, you will, I guess, leave it to the crew because they don't have anything to do with the murder, and if their behavior, it's up to the crew whether their behavior.
They are to be summarily taken to the brig.
Okay.
Deborah's going to have somebody another crewman check their cots or beds or whatever and see if their talismans are still there.
If you can go with the crew as they go.
Yeah, that's a good
Yes.
idea. We should look because
If somebody's stealing, yeah.
Emmy will suggest that if they are there, we should take them because if the killer is after them, then even if they are there, they may not be for long. If the killer is after these talismans,
I'm not gonna touch any of that.
these runes.
Okay.
It's something you depended on for your life. Why would you let that out of your...
Okay. So, yeah, you guys. So there, are just two of you are going to go there, or all of you?
Devereaux has a vested interest.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow the group.
Since this actually doesn't seem like it's going to require an entire group to do, Emmy will bid farewell to them for the moment. She has.
Emmy, you don't want to touch the possibly super evil thing? That's all you've been doing this whole campaign.
I am not concerned about that. However, there is something else I must do to investigate.
Could somebody just real quick give me the Cliff's Notes version on what I missed when I was dealing with my exploding washing machine?
Oh, sure. Apparently Gareth Maribel and the captain are sick with the marsh sickness or whatever it's called.
Yeah, they had the marsh sickness. It was killing them. They had gone to Old Zazoria following rumors of a cult called the Masquerade that wore all kinds of masks and red robes and did creepy shit with plagues. And they managed to convince them to give them runes that made them immune to illness, so long as the rune was under your pillow at night, every night.
This is therefore this was what was missing from the captain's quarters.
Yeah, and this was missing from the captain's quarters, and also Mary Beth was planning on stealing the captain's rune eventually anyway, but didn't actually do it.
But yes, they said they were planning on stealing the captain's rune. I assume that as in they were planning on stealing the captain's rune after the captain had died, as it would no longer be useful. I suppose we didn't clarify that.
They seemed to suggest that they were planning on stealing it when they were closer to land and had possibly an escape route.
Right, but I mean, I assumed they only decided to steal it. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt and assumed that they only decided to steal it after he had died, because, otherwise they would be dooming their captain.
Oh, they were totally going to stab him in the back.
Oh, okay.
That's the gist of it. That's why they seemed so forlorn when they were admitting to that, because they were totally going to stab him in the back.
Technically not criminals because of that yet, unless thought crimes are a crime that you...
No, but at the very least they'll probably be kicked off the crew, since obviously that's one of the
reasons that they're being brigged.
Yes. They're no longer trusted by the crew, so they're probably going to be in the brig for the rest of the trip, but...
Did they explain why they ran?
They went to go look for their stuff, I imagine, because they have these things too, and they wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
and they're just really dumb.
And then Devereaux called for them to be chased.
I assume, yeah, I don't know. We didn't ask. I guess if you have more questions, feel free to add on at the end of what we were asking. I didn't ask. I just assumed it was because they figured they would be presumed guilty at the if they were discovered to be connected to this.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I assumed that they probably it's right that they probably were going to go check on their own runes and then panicked when Devereaux shouted for them to be stopped, because Devereaux noticed that they were on edge about when he saw that something was missing. Actually, I do have one last question for them. Or I guess rather, I feel Devereaux should, because Emmy doesn't know this. Ask them if the runes heat up or if they would cause a burn of some kind, because you noticed there was a burn mark there.
Oh, right.
Since either we should know if that's a property of the rune or if that's something that the killer did.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of how Devereaux would word that, because I don't think he would think to ask that.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair if you don't think he'd think that's important. But I'm just saying he's the only one who knows about that detail at the moment, so no one else.
No, after he sees the other ones, if they're not burnt under there, then he'd ask about it.
That is fair.
Who all is going to go to Mary Beth and Gareth's bunks to look for their runes?
For all he knows, it's just like a good 70 degrees at all time, and it's slowly burnt underneath the bed.
Okay. Well, yeah. Who all is going over there?
I actually had one last question for them.
Okay.
Before. Zacky's just gonna ask who they think, like, what's their best guess of who did it.
Okay. What's their best guess of who did it? They're just Gareth is just like, oh, there are those new Zorians that were giving us trouble for no reason.
Okay. Does the other one have anything to say about that?
Mary Beth shakes her head.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Zacky's gonna go off to talk to some new Zorians.
Okay.
Actually, I suppose. Sorry if this is a bit belated, but there is one more thing I thought of.
Okay.
More of a passive thing. Can I roll social awareness about something they said?
Sure. Go ahead.
Because I realize it's a possible motive. They mentioned getting these runes. Emmy wants to sense any deception on if they are hiding something, namely hiding something about how they got them. Namely, if maybe they did not ask to receive them, maybe stole them. Since a possible motive could then be if somebody from the cult is aboard and is taking them back.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll.
That is a 9 on social awareness.
The means with which they got those does seem shady indeed.
Damn it, I didn't brainfuckle them hard enough. They didn't tell us the whole truth.
I suppose she'll get in close and just to kind of quietly to them, because she doesn't want to do this as a way of currently casting judgment on them, because finding the truth is more important than blaming them for this comparatively petty crime.
Mm-hmm.
But she will say, "You stole them from the cult, didn't you?"
And Mary Beth looks like she just saw a ghost again, and Gareth just kind of whispers, "We didn't want to live our lives there."
I see. It is not my place to pass judgment for this. But however, that is you must be aware then. If it is possible that the killer is someone from this cult, we now have at least one possible motive for killing the captain. That would also mean that your lives may be in danger as well.
Yeah, they don't look happy about that. They really don't look happy about that, but then they're escorted to the brig.
So, Yeah, feel free to move on to the other guys if you want, but Emmy has one thing she wants to do because she has to be alone to do it. And then after that, Emmy's going to spend the rest of the time guarding these two because she is fairly worried at this point that they are going to be targets as well.
Okay. Sounds good.
That is her plan for until they either catch the culprit or rule out the cult as a culprit.
Okay. All right. In that case, so Ariadne and Devereaux are heading towards Gareth and heading towards Gareth and Mary Beth's bunk. We're going to do this and we're going to do this and Zach, or no, we're going to do this and then we're going to catch up with Luke. So you guys head to the bunks, and in the crew quarters, in the crew bunks, you find under their bunks, yes, there are there are small circular stone emblems that appear to, they're about the size of the palm of your hands. They have a strange half mask carved into them. So yeah, and they do appear to have burned under the pillow. Do any of you pick them up?
No! You see that? It's evil as shit. I'm not touching that.
Ah, damn it. Devereaux will put his hand over it to see if it feels warm.
It does feel warm, but like a calming warmth.
Do you want to die today?
I mean, it cures illness, right? Why would it kill me? We do need to get it out of here if people are stealing these things.
You ever heard the phrase, there's no such thing as a free sandwich?
I mean, if I take the sandwich and no one sees me do it, it's free then, right?
Devereaux, do you have any injuries? Scars, permanent injuries? Are you missing any teeth? Are you sick?
Yes, he probably has a couple of problems.
You got the sniffles?
Yeah, go ahead and tell me one.
Let's say his gut has been hurting him for a while. He doesn't know that he has, like, worms.
Okay. When you touch the artifact, take a point of madness.
You got worms from a free sandwich, didn't you?
Take a point of madness.
It was a really old egg salad sandwich.
As you recoil from the artifact, and begin to cough violently.
God.
The coughing, you cough up a black tar at first, and the coughing turns to blood. Have you lost any teeth at all?
Yeah, he probably has quite a few teeth.
Yeah. The coughing turns to blood as pain flares through your mouth. Pain flares through your mouth, pain flares through your body. The black tar turns to blood, and then that turns to vomit.
Oh, God.
As you evacuate every worm that was in your stomach.
Yeah, no, he probably has it clenched, like the stone clenched in his fist, and is just breathing on the ground. And it would suck to have heightened senses right now, as just fecal matter and blood and and he's just convulsing violently.
When it's all said and done, you don't feel better, but you're cured.
He's gonna drop the stone.
What happened?
And just cry a little.
Despite having wraps over her face, this is disgusting.
Look at me.
Oh, okay, you were right. You were right.
I don't want to hear that right now. I want to hear that you're okay.
My gums, I think they're torn up.
Your gums? Your mouth?
If you happen to tongue at it, you find that you're plus teeth that you were previously minus.
Oh God, are these gonna fall out?
What?
If I don't sleep with that under my bed?
I hook a finger under his lip and I take a look at what he's looking at.
There are freshly grown teeth.
What the fuck?
There is a mixture of blood and a black tar around them.
I thought it only worked if it was under your bed and you slept on it.
We'll wrap the stone in a cloth. Do you think you can touch it if there's something between you and your hand?
I don't know. Black's not good, right? Should I see Luke?
Probably. You
Crap,
should
I've been
also
avoiding
probably
him
get
for
out of
this.
control of your own vomit.
I'm being.
You find that the if you happen to if you happen to touch the stone again, nothing else like that as violent happens.
He'll grab the other one too.
Sure.
And he'll
With this cloth, something between your skin and the
yeah, with a cloth.
Do you want anything else healed?
I don't think he'd know. No, he would not want anything else. He's just like grabs both of them and puts them. Yeah, no, he'll just put them in a like small little bag, like cup of
Okay.
cloth, and make it a bag.
Okay.
And carefully take that to. I don't even know who.
Well,
If you're worried about someone going after them, the person who likes to wield swords is a good person to protect them. But other than that, I'm not sure.
If you want vaguely more information, maybe the doctor. Either one. But
there are two
The
of
one
them.
that I kind of trust more right now would probably be better.
Yeah, go show them to Luke and show him how all of his years of study have been undone by a rock.
An evil fucking rock.
Some minor side effects.
I don't know. Can Luke grow teeth back? I don't think he can.
I assume most of your methods don't involve mysterious black gook, though. So
Yeah, but you'd rather not have that in you, right?
you'd be surprised, just saying. You don't know.
There are
You know
many
me.
humors in the human body.
You may know me, but you don't know my work.
Okay.
Can you stand?
Yeah, actually, all the aches in my legs are gone.
Yeah, you like when you're up and about, you feel better than you ever have.
Yeah, no,
your stomach feels sour still, and your esophagus is still burning, but like the rest of your body feels better, noticeably.
stop. Yeah, we'll go see Luke.
Okay. So
Unless, who was it? Ariadne wanted him to go to drop these off with.
Oh, I think we just keep him with us until we figure out something better.
Yeah.
well,
Here's the thing: Emmy might be a good choice, but I'm just really thinking back to the first session.
She's you probably know her enough that know if you tell her that bad things will happen if you touch you, it's not like she's insatiably curious. If you tell her that not to touch them because they are dangerous, she will not touch them
That is
because
true.
they are
She's
dangerous.
At least disciplined.
She is disciplined. She did what she did because of her loyalty to her lord and considered what she had to gain from it.
Now,
I'll
here's a
say
question.
it. Sorry.
Would these magic stones cure a mystical influence within the body?
Is there one that you want cured?
Like no, like Emmy and
Ooh.
and if it doesn't, would it piss off her?
Do you want to rub it on her skin?
No.
No, we do not.
Do you want to give it a try?
No.
And can we just point out now that you're basically saying sell her soul to another devil to cure the selling of the soul to one devil?
I just want to see if two devils appear and start fighting.
This is why we can't have nice things, Ed. This is why we joke about you trying to kill the rest of the party.
Sorry.
I love you, Ed.
We'll take them-
Never
At
change.
least he's not an Eldritch Abomination this time.
we'll take them to Luke. We'll find out what to do with them
Okay.
after that.
I'm going to say that everyone can catch up with each other now. Luke has what he has from his autopsy. Zaki, you'll be able to go talk to some new Zorians after this scene. I just want everyone to catch up and talk here.
Okay, so Emmy will do her other thing after this scene.
Yeah. So everyone has a chance to catch up and meet and talk amongst yourselves. Devereaux looks like shit.
Deborah smells like shit.
Yeah, he also smells like it.
Devereaux, what happened? Are you okay?
I touched something I wasn't supposed to. Ariadne, take these. I need to go jump off the side of the ship.
I'm not touching those.
Please do not go jump off of the side of the ship.
What are we not touching?
These stones.
Now, random question. Would intellect plus theology sequinist give me any information on those, or
You can go ahead and roll it, sure.
sweet. Okay, so that is a D8. And a D4.
Do I even need to roll supernatural awareness to be like, yeah, those things?
No, just for free.
For free, she looks at those and goes, "Yep, those are weird."
Yes. Everything about about these things is wrong.
So that's a 7 total.
7 total. And remind me what you were asking again.
Just, I don't know if Sequinist has any information on that, but would I know what these things are?
You kind of recognize the symbol as a popular symbol in sort of like death worshipping cults, but like a particular kind of death worshipping cult, like a variety of like disease and plague worshipping cults. The half mask is familiar to you in that respect. You don't know if Assuming everyone info dumps to each other. You don't know if you don't recognize the name the Masquerade, but you wouldn't be surprised if they are disease worshipping death cult.
So at this point, we all share info with each other.
Yeah, you can roleplay it out if you want, or you can just say you just do.
Info dump.
Okay.
So I went down with Ariadne here and a couple crewmen to their bunks, and we looked under the pillow, and the stones were there, and I grabbed one
Yes.
after I made sure it wasn't too hot, and because they're hot, they burn under the pillows. That's them. It's not the thief. But yeah, no, I grabbed it and I just started puking, and I'll be honest, I may have let
It was
other.
very unpleasant.
Yeah, it was very unpleasant. But I think it might have caused rot or something. It's not supposed to be black. He just like pulls up on his lip to show his teeth.
I mean, if you've basically, it's like a black goo, but if you've rinsed your mouth out at this point, it's gone.
He probably hasn't really done it very well since he had no source of water, which is why he wants to jump in the ocean.
He was vomiting black, and then blood, and then bile, and his teeth grew back.
Don't forget the worms. He vomited worms.
He vomited worms.
Does the doctor and me say that we should clean that up as soon as possible? Because the doctor and player is telling me that we should clean that up as soon as possible.
Yes.
Fine.
You can order someone from the crew to go take care of that immediately if they haven't already.
They sleep there, goddammit. We just ruined their whole evening. Not the murder, you.
I will, but I will also strongly encourage, basic sanitary practices in cleaning.
Yeah.
What is that?
Now, surprisingly, they're already quite aware of that. One thing when you're on a ship is being as sanitary as you possibly can, because if one person gets sick, you all are going to be sick if you're not careful. You're in such a closed space together that you clean up some vomit or etc., and then you douse it with rubbing alcohol. You douse the whole fucking area with rubbing alcohol.
All I'm hearing is that it was probably a godsend that I sunk Devereaux's ship.
Yes.
That's before you even knew about the cursed artifact that was aborted. So, go ahead.
They spoke of these stones having healing properties. So when he touched it, he grew his teeth back. And maybe the worms were already inside him. Who knows at this point?
Well, probably considering the diet of certain travelers, knowing if you in any country, if you don't go to the right places, you are definitely getting some form of bad meat.
The point is the stones worked, but not without a price.
I'm cursed.
No, you're just disgusting.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not the first time you told me that.
I mean, to be fair, violently throwing up and having your mouth filled with black goo kind of seems like a pretty good trade-off of the two. Still, I don't think any of us should touch these, just in case.
I mean, they're not doing anything to me now. I'll keep a hold of them.
Uh,
Yeah, basically anything that you could have coughed up, you've already coughed up.
if you
You have nothing to
say
cough up.
so, just be very careful. If they are indeed what the killer is after, they said killer may come after you.
I mean, it won't be the first time I've gotten into a fight.
Well, yes, I think that would hold true for all of us.
Now, follow-up question: how stupid would it be to just destroy these things?
Could we? Even?
Shrug.
I
You
mean,
you don't know?
They are not our property. We should destroy them.
We could throw them overboard.
Again, they are not our property.
Well, apparently they aren't the property of the people they were under the pillows of either.
That is a fair point.
Now, do
we
you
can
open
give
the
them
thing-
to the Port Authority.
That
We
seems
really-
also dangerous.
Do we really just want to hand out cursed artifacts like that? Leave them around?
I mean, I imagine they have a depository they put things like this in.
Curse artifact box.
I am not sure that is at most port
A green box,
authorities.
perhaps.
If anything, our guild would probably know best how to deal with them.
That's true.
I hate you, Judd. I love you, but I hate you.
It's the green building down by the dock.
May I recommend that we keep the Gareth and Marybeth under guard? If this is some kind of revenge killing due to the theft of the artifacts, their lives may be in danger. I will guard them myself, but I need to meditate first.
Oh,
Fair enough.
alright.
But I need to go freshen up a bit. I'm gonna grab my other pair of clothes.
I guess that leaves me on guard duty until you guys are done, unless one of you two wants to take it. Looks to Ari and Zaki.
I have some people I need to talk to. There were some accusatory fingers being pointed, and I'm trying to work through the rest of the crew to figure out.
Who ended up? Was it Luke or Zaki that ended up winning the big gambling thing?
Oh, that was me.
Luke.
Luke, I forget. What all did you win in the game last night?
Your poetry, which was very good, by the way.
I make
she,
a big sucking
she turns
motion.
slightly red, but otherwise,
There was this necklace. There was the vest, which I gave back to Devereaux because I wouldn't want to rob him blind. And I think there was technically the brief indentured servitude of someone, but that one got canceled.
It hasn't been canceled. You own Durin.
To be fair, I think it was mildly canceled because of the equal value joke. But-
It's yeah.
yeah.
Depending on interpretation. Beyond that, I forget. I feel like there's one other thing I'm forgetting, but I'm pretty
Well,
sure that's actually.
I know the big thing you got was Tetsuken's calligraphy, which is the one thing that's one of the things that's actually legitimately worth something, both culturally and monetarily. What I'm trying to think is, did anybody bet a carving?
It's not ringing any bells. The calligraphy is.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because I think one of the other Suzakians had a painting, right? Of the couple.
Hmm?
GM?
What's up?
for what was bet in the previous game. One of the Suzakians, because the other thing that other couple of Suzakians, like the husband, bet a painting, right? Not a.
He bet something that he had painted.
Right, that's
It
what
was
I
like a
meant.
sketch of his or something along those lines.
What I was confirming is that none of the people who bet various artworks when that came up bet a carving, right?
Right. There were no carvings that were bet.
Okay. Damn. That would have been that had been a really brilliant clue if that had been a thing. But oh well.
Okay.
Hmm.
So then I assume that the next things to happen are talking with Jiren and his friends and also Blade Meditation.
Yep.
Okay. We'll go with Zaki first.
Okay. Yeah. So, it was specifically the Caesarians.
The new Caesarians, Jiren, Halidus, and Mekra.
Oh, they don't. The new is not on my sheet. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll go talk to them.
They're currently below deck in the tavern, just drinking water at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very solemn atmosphere.
Hmm.
And they're just like, Jiren is just like, hey, Zaki.
Hey. So, some accusatory fingers were being pointed in your direction earlier. Hear about that?
Mekra spits out the water that he was just drinking. What?
Yeah. So apparently, some of the bar people were. I mean, I guess they're boat people too, but like they were caught with their hands in the cookie jar, so to speak. And I asked them if they thought who they thought was most likely to be the killer, and they said you were their big suspects. Something about some sort of argument you had with the captain.
Oh, Jesus. Says Halidus. Go ahead and roll me something to get information out of him.
Okay. Well, I didn't actually give them a command this time, so I'm just going to do. Could I do charm just to get them talking?
Sure.
8.
8. Mekra is just like, all right. Look, Captain owed us money for a bodyguard job we did for him and a couple of his friends. That whole argument was really just us being like, hey, we're coming up on Vontier soon and you ain't paid us. What's up with that? And then his friends were all just like, this ain't the time for that. And Jiren was kind of like, no, this is a good time for it.
If you don't mind, mind me
got a big
asking, what was the
brawl.
job?
Oh, And Darren replies this time. Well, we it's him, this Mary Beth and Gareth. I think that's what their names were. And Halidus kind of nods along with that. They were going somewhere in Zoria, and they just needed able-bodied people that can hold their shit and fight if need be to take them out someplace in the desert. We didn't go the full way because they didn't want us to, I guess. But they came back a few days later. We were about to abandon them because they were late. But we didn't. They came back a few days later to where we'd set up camp and went on our way. They never said what they had to do out there. They never really explained. We didn't really care to ask. It seemed kind of shady.
Yeah, it sounds like whatever they were involved in is part of what got the captain offed. Something they found out there was stolen after he got killed.
Ooh.
So, I know you guys, and I know your poker faces too. So I can say pretty clearly that I know you probably didn't do it. So my question is, who do you think killed the captain? And that's going to be a suggestion roll.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
12.
12. Okay. They each have different ideas. Jiren says, I wouldn't be surprised if Gareth and Mary Beth turned on him. They and the captain seemed like they were about done with each other's company by the time we actually got to the ship. Halidus is just like, well, I mean, there's that married couple, Ennis and Keisuke. They were hanging out with the captain a lot. Thinking back to it, maybe that's a little suspicious. And then Mekra is just like, let's see here. Mekra is just like, when there was there were those two that were at the bar when everything was happening. Kylie, that one Von Tai girl, and the Swordmaster, Haru, I think. They were periodically looking the captain's way when we were going, before we even went to approach him. Eavesdropping, maybe.
Okay, so let me just check. Wait, so Kylie is from Vontai, you said?
Oh no, sorry. He actually said New Zoria. My bad. She's from New Zoria.
Okay. All right, I'm just making sure all of my
It's all good.
information
That
is
was my mistake.
good. Okay. Okay. I'll probably go after the couple next because it'd probably be easier to find them together and less likely for sorry, I've forgotten your character's name, Zach.
Emmy.
Emmy.
Yeah. Yeah. Less likely that Emmy will get angry at Zaki for saying unfavorable things to Haru.
Yeah, Emmy. Yeah, Emmy will. Like Emmy, by as a matter of course, does not even consider Haru a suspect. He is a well-respected sword master. She is certain he would not do this kind of thing.
Okay.
But that does not stop any of you from investigating him if you think he is suspicious. She will just refuse to acknowledge, without very hard evidence, she will refuse to consider him a suspect.
I mean, eventually Zaki's just going. If he is guilty, Zaki will just eventually go up to him and say, "Hey, did you do it?"
You should probably let someone, if you become certain that he is guilty, you should probably let someone do that who is very confident in their dueling skills. And by that I mean we're fucked because even Emmy would not stand a chance against him.
Look, I'll just melt his brain. Good. I think I picked up the ability to just to tell people to go to sleep as one of my things.
The Ross approach. Okay.
Yeah.
So, in any event,
All else fails. All else fails. You can't parry a bullet.
Also true.
So,
Except for the fact we don't have any of our guns because we're on a ship and we don't want it to blow up.
I still have a pistol. Just saying. I openly admit I hid one on me.
So, I'll go with the married couple here first, and then I'll get to the meditation. So, go ahead and make me an inquiry roll if you're going to head on up to them and start asking some questions.
I don't have inquiry. What's the trait?
That's charisma.
Okay. Well, at least I get to roll. Yeah. If I just roll the trait die, it still explodes, right?
No, you need to have the talent for it to explode.
Okay, then just 8.
Okay. What sort of questions you asking?
He's basically gonna pull the same thing, saying, "Hey, there was
They're currently they you find them in their quarters. With all the commotion going on, like they're aware of what's going on, and they retired to their quarters just to get out of the way.
Mhm.
But with all the commotion, they can't really sleep.
Okay. Yeah, Zaki will generally take the same approach of, hey, I've been asking around, and some people started pointing fingers your way. I don't really think it's you, but I'm just trying to figure out where everybody was.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, they're just like, we were. I have no idea why anyone would think that. Maybe because we were hanging out with a caption. Maybe. He was an interesting man, but I have no reason why I would endeavor to kill him. Nor do I even have the talents with which to do so.
Hmm.
I apologize for not being of much help.
Yeah. Did he mention anything about his adventure in New Zoria?
No.
Okay. Can I roll social awareness on that?
Sure.
$14.
They haven't been lying to you this whole time.
Okay. Then he'll finish that off with his usual suggestion. So, honestly, what's your best guess of who you think did in the captain? If you'd been talking to him, that's going to be a 9 on suggestion.
Yeah, and this is just like, they actually both are in agreement with this one. As Innes is just like, well, wouldn't it be someone that was close to him? Like those 2 crewmen that were at the bar with him?
Right. Well, they're already in holding under suspicion, so we'll just clearing things up, making sure that if anybody saw something, they can come forward. I'd suggest you stay in, though. Looks like things are still pretty busy around here.
She nods a little. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Zachy will head off.
Okay. So, elsewhere, I believe there's some blade meditation happening.
There is.
Go ahead and make me a roll for it. As
Alright.
you basically, you can, after meditating for a little while, you do start to hear the spirits talking. But when it starts off small and like whispers, and then rapidly turns into a cacophony as you are.
That is a lot more spirits than she is expected to be attached to a single ship. Or does she just always hear lots of spirits everywhere?
There, you usually hear lots of spirits
Okay.
everywhere.
I guess location is not as much of a concern, seeing as we are in the middle of the ocean.
Well, shipwrecks, piracy, etc.
Right, but I feel like still overall that doesn't match the amount of the spirits that should be on land. But anyway, 13 for blade meditation.
13. The cacophony isn't as bad as it is when you're on land, admittedly. It's maybe a few dozen spirits that you have to pick through. Contrary to, say, hundreds or thousands of voices at once. So definitely not as bad. In fact, probably might even be a relief comparatively.
Especially in, oh man, using it in Sazak with how crowded and compact
Yeah.
Sazak is.
Yeah.
Not
And you eventually already pick out the captain's voice. And from what you can gather, he isn't aware that he's dead. as it almost sounds like you're hearing his surface thoughts. Just need to finish up the letter. Tell them I'm coming home. I'm bringing a gift, a few gifts maybe. It's going to be problematic to get the other two, but they don't need to know that.
Is she usually able to actually speak with them, or does she just hear?
You can speak with them if you try hard enough, but yes.
Hopefully. Captain Hetty. It's the young swordmaster, Emmy Cuso. I'm sorry, Cuso, Emmy. It is fine. I am used to both ways, having been traveling. Did not expect you in my quarters this late. I apologize. It might be more mess than you are used to. I apologize for disturbing you. So give me 1 second. Okay. I believe Death Wish wants back in. Okay.
Death Wish is our cat, by the way, in case no one knows. Nate just didn't say some really creepy bullshit and walk off. Death Wish is our cat, and he slits outside and wants to be let back in.
Has he made a run for the number of lives he can lose?
We're not sure. We found him on the street.
Fair enough. Street cats are the
Okay, I'm
best
back.
cats.
I am back. Okay, continue.
Captain Hetty.
Yes, Emmy.
Is there... trying to think of...
And you because it feels like you're hearing his surface thoughts, you also hear little bits of little bits of them too, where he says things like, clearly not meant for you to hear, but things along the lines of, she's about my daughter's age. I'm sure they would have gotten along.
Your life is in danger. I know not yet from who, but I have an idea. It's related to something you recently acquired.
Is she talking about the stones? I certainly hope she isn't talking about them. I guess I could see why my life would be in danger for those. But this far away, that doesn't seem likely. What do you mean, Emmy?
I know of the stones. I am not sure who, but I believe somebody is after them. Somebody who is willing to kill for them.
That is problematic.
I am fairly certain it is not your two compatriots. Is there any aboard? We learned that he got them in New Zazoria, right?
No, he got them in Old Zazoria.
He got them in Old Zazoria. Which means that anybody who boarded this specific time still could have. Can you think of anything else? Anything you might have or know that could help us lead to the potential culprit?
It was awfully cold in my room. I don't know why. I don't like the cold. I know. I can't imagine anyone that would be after us. We're very far away. We were very far away.
Not getting over this.
It's still getting quite cold. Colder than before.
Change of tact. Captain, did you have both your keys on you last night?
Yes, I should have had both my keys on me. I wonder how she knows that I kept 2 keys on me. It's a very silly story. Maybe I should tell her sometime.
A crewman mentioned that there was a story behind why you kept both keys on me, but they seem uncertain of it. I'm curious, why do you keep both your quarter keys on you at all times?
Have you ever... It's a silly story. It's a very silly story. Have you ever put your coin purse on your left side rather than your right?
I suppose I must have at some point.
Did you start to carry it on your right side from then on? Or your left side from then on?
To be honest, I can't recall.
It's very similar to that. Like I said, it's a silly story. A very silly story.
Can I make some kind of roll? Because this almost exactly word for word has been mentioned before, and she's beginning to feel like there may be a little more to it than just... Isn't that weird?
When you're talking to the spirits like this, it's...
So later, maybe, but not now.
Well, no, when you're talking to the spirits like this, you get their surface thoughts. So you frequently, when you've talked to the spirits, when they're lying to you or if there's something strange about what they're saying, they usually say it.
Right, but he isn't, so...
No, he isn't.
Maybe
So
it
either
just
it's a deeper thing or it really is that silly.
Okay. Did you tell were any of the passengers aware that you kept both keys on you?
Any of the passengers aware that I kept 2 keys?
Did you show anybody or tell anybody else the story?
I don't think they would have known. Why would they have known? Well, maybe some of them would have known. 1 of them, 2 of them, perhaps 3 of them, actually. There was a crew of people that I had brought on. They were bodyguards for a time. They would have known. Yes, they would have known.
Who were they?
Durin Lan, Halidus Kast, and Mek Raquel. I'd hired them as bodyguards for a while. When we went to get the stones, they would have known.
Would they have? Out of character. Does anybody think of anything else I should ask him? Because since we know he was killed from behind and never saw his attacker, I am limited in the amount of things I figure I can learn from him. But
you could ask him about his stone. Like, more specifically.
Ask about a wooden weapon, maybe?
that would be a good idea. Well, no, because we believe was it a wooden weapon or a weapon that had recently cut wood as well?
That's the latter.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
sorry,
a
I must have
serrated-
that.
There was wood chips, like the blade had been used to like pry at something wooden.
Yeah, it was a serrated. We know it was done with a short serrated blade, and that it had, the wood. It would have been wood chips. That's also out of character. That also fairly rules out Haru, because chances are Haru's swords are not serrated, and neither of them is probably short enough to qualify.
I think asking him about his stone would be good because maybe he might give you some insight as to why he needed it.
We know why he needed it. He had the
The
plague.
sickness, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Never mind.
It's okay. I was trying to bark up that tree too.
Oh, I have an idea. I am told that you've had some contact with a cult, something called the Masquerade.
Ah, yes. They were very frightening, terrifying even. I didn't like them very much. They were creepy.
Are there any tells among their members, something they may carry a mark on their body to indicate their membership to the group?
They always wore masks.
But surely would they keep the masks on them even when they are not at the cult?
I would
They
assume
do-
so, perhaps.
All right. That's all I can think of. Out of character, is convincing people they're dead or doing anything else for them normally in it, or is the best she can do just speak with them? Like, has that traditionally been a bad idea, or
Historically, it's been mixed. You still heard their voices when you meditate after you tell them they're dead, though.
so it's not like they go anywhere. It's just
Yeah, you have the ability to speak with them, but not the ability to move them on.
right. I'm
You
just
should
trying to
start
decide-
binding them all to your sword.
That sounds evil. Probably not something she is either capable of doing or desires to do.
Come on, what's one soul?
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, right?
Could always be useful to have an extra soul lying around when deads come due.
No.
Honestly, that debt was pretty clear last I checked. That being said, we'll see how that goes when it actually does come due.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Uh,
I guess with that, she'll just say, "Thank you for your time, Captain. I wish you well."
Thank you. I wish you well, too. Perhaps I should try to introduce her to my daughter at some point. I'm sure they would get along.
Yeah, with that, she will cease her meditation and let the voices of the spirits fade.
Okay. Are you going to go meet with Luke, who is currently on guard duty?
Yes, and she needs to relay some information to him because, hey, we should maybe look into those bodyguards who sound like they are the only non-crew members who would know.
That's where I want to go too, to see Luke.
Hey.
Okay, well, we'll start with
good. I
that.
was going to ask you to maybe break into some people's rooms and sneaky.
I do like doing that.
We'll start off with Ariadne speaking with Luke.
So, tough night.
I mean, if you're asking if performing an autopsy in the middle of the night is fun, I'd say no, but I don't think I'm having a particularly tough night.
So you said how the murder was committed and what it was most likely committed with.
Yes, short-serrated knife, maybe used to cut wood beforehand, probably used to cut wood beforehand.
What would your opinion be on the experience of the person committing the murder?
I don't. I'd say I don't know about experience, but they were definitely skilled enough to be quick about it.
Thorough and clean, right? Or as clean as you can be. No trails,
Well-
that's for sure.
Well, there's still the blood spray, but the simple fact is they slit the throat quickly. That's what caused it to explode so much, rather than a slow cut that would cause it to drip out.
I have a little bit of a theory. But I don't know exactly how to address it.
Steps away from the bar slightly to have a slightly more private conversation. Well, what are you thinking?
Now I know what you're going to say. I'll have a bias, but hear me out. The other doctor on board.
I mean, I'm not saying you don't have a bias, but I'm still willing to listen to your thing. Why do you think it might be her?
Someone who would know human anatomy well enough to know how to make a clean cut. Someone who would also know inhuman things enough to want something that the captain might have, or at least information on it. Someone who seems very obsessed with gathering information about non-human entities and things, like these stones. A general closed-off and creepy attitude may be a part of a cult.
She's counting on her fingers as she says all these.
I mean, I know at least two people who could apply to that last one, knowing look.
I'm not a part of a cult.
I roll social awareness. No.
I'll say at this point, Emmy walks up. Nate put in the chat, have her enter whenever.
I'm not a part of a cult. Emmy can vouch for me.
She is not. That would require her to deal with other people more than she is comfortable with, I think. It is true, though. You are not a very group-oriented person.
My
Not that
point
there's
is,
anything wrong with that.
thank you. Thank you. My point is, where has this doctor been and why is she so closed off? It seems too perfect of an alibi, doesn't it?
You believe the doctor may be the culprit?
I do believe the doctor may be the culprit, or at least has something to do with it.
My only counter argument I have directly without any factual evidence is I've known plenty of academics who are nowhere near as outgoing as myself. Shut-in scholars are not a rarity.
Okay.
That's the part I can circumstantially refute. The rest, however, you have a point. Looks to Emmy like your approach, so I assume you have something.
Yes, I have learned something.
Oh?
There are three others that there are three others that were that knew the captain had kept a pair of keys on him, kept both keys on himself.
Do you know who those three are?
Yes, Jaren, Mekra, and Halidus. Evidently they had been approached at some point to be bodyguards, be additional security, so they knew where the captain kept his keys.
So that's definitely three people at the top of our suspect list, at least.
Since We would have to assume, since the captain was in his quarters, whoever took the keys must have done so before he retired to his quarters, right? Otherwise, they would not have been able to get in.
So someone who's good at sleight of hand?
Yes, and they did so in such a way that the captain did not notice that one was missing.
Or someone who's very unassuming?
Perhaps. Though that would seem unlikely to be the other doctor then. Did she even attend the party?
I don't believe so.
She
but
didn't. Oh no, she was there, but she was just keeping to herself. That's right,
Yeah,
because
she was
I
just
was
reading.
I was keeping an eye on her, and that was getting very boring, and so other people called me away.
Nobody called you away. You just got bothered by
I got bothered enough until
Yeah.
I went away.
that. So that doesn't technically invalidate her as a suspect.
No, but I think it may be worth... There is also something else I learned, or at least a suspicion. The cultists always wore masks. Therefore, it is likely that if this was the motive for the killing, and there is a cultist aboard attempting to retrieve those stones, that their mask is somewhere among their belongings. That seems like it would be a more harder proof than searching for the key, since if this is the case, I do not believe the cultists would so willingly discard their own mask.
Yeah. So definitely something to keep an eye out for. Then, if we need to search the crew and the suspects.
Searching rooms, huh? Is that what we're coming down to?
I don't know if we're going to go full on that, even though I do have an idea that I think you might enjoy, Ari.
Go on.
So, are you going to continue taking up the watch here?
Yes, it does seem likely that they are if there will be more deaths, they will be the next targets. So, may I ask something of you? It does not have to be a kind of full-time thing, as she seems unrelated, but if you would just periodically check up on Elaine. She has asked for my protection when arriving at port. She does not believe that anyone after her is on the ship, but just to be on the safe side.
I see no harm.
Thank you. I will stand watch among the prisoners. Hopefully that will discourage the killer from attempting to strike at them, or if not, perhaps I will be able to take down the killer myself.
Yeah, give us a shout though. If this is a trained killer, you're going to have to put up one hell of a fight, probably.
Where did the stones end up?
Zephyros still has them, I believe. He said he was going to carry them as they were not in the bag. They were not affecting him any further.
Good to know.
I did warn him that may make him a target as well.
Well, I think he can take care of himself.
Indeed. I am more worried about him, though. I will have the advantage of being able to keep a wall to my back. I am fairly confident that I can take any assassin that comes head on, but if he is walking about the ship, there is a much greater possibility he could be snuck up on. Though he is fairly observant, it'll be difficult to do.
He's also stubborn enough to take a few hits before he can go down. I think he can hold himself.
Who needs a wall at your back when you are a wall?
Pretty much.
Somewhere on the ship, Devereaux sneezes.
I'm not really that much of a shit kicker, though.
Oh no, am I getting? And then he goes, "Oh no, am I getting sick again? Oh god, here comes the bile."
After sneezing, he slips a new necklace around his neck.
Oh boy.
Ah, that warmth.
Sadly, I think we are rapidly approaching a limit to what we can learn without searching for physical evidence.
I mean, at some point you have to pull out the physical evidence. That's how most investigations worked last I checked.
There's something I forgot to mention. I don't know if it has any bearing on this, but it is somewhat suspicious in retrospect. Last night before the captain was killed, I went out on deck for some air before going to bed. There was someone in the distance at one point that me and a few of the other crew members saw. They mistook them for a crew member at first. I think they were dressed similarly to one, but they weren't someone they recognized. Then they decided after they had left that the person had left that they must have been mistaken about them being crew.
Is there someone on the ship that's unaccounted for?
What struck me as odd was their accent. I could not place it.
A stowaway, maybe.
It is possible. Or someone who is
curious.
Or someone who is very good at disguise, or someone who is skilled enough at deception to fake an accent.
But if you fake an accent so much you can't recognize it at that point, it's noticeable.
I meant rather, if they're faking an accent, I think it's the one we'd have been hearing from them this whole time, not the one I heard last night.
Possibly.
It is, like I said, I don't know for sure. It could simply be that there is a crewman who has an odd accent. But I suppose it's worth keeping an ear out for.
I'll tell Devereaux and Zach you want to run into them.
Was anyone... I'm trying to think. Last night, was anyone playing a game with knives? I can't remember if that was one of the things going on. If anyone was playing knife bar games with, say, knives stabbed into the table.
Between your fingers.
It goes chop chop chop.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Ari might have been the one that brought that up. Actually, I'm not sure though.
Truth is revealed.
Shit. I was the killer. I found the body. None of y'all asked me.
Yeah, we did.
That's a
That
lie.
was literally the first thing two of us asked was, did you do it?
You know what? That's true. That's fair. You believed me, you fools.
Well, yes, you seem like the person who would be rather unashamed of killing somebody in cold blood if you needed to do it.
They're not wrong.
Nobody's wrong.
Why, yes, I did.
Yeah,
I totally killed them.
he was really evil. Oh, was this Rock? Well, my bad.
He was probably already corrupted by it anyway. You know how
Yeah,
these things
yeah.
go. Anyway, yeah. Emmy will take over guard duty.
So really quick question to the GM: the other doctor, is she a medical doctor?
Tor Lafon.
Yeah.
You know what? She is studying viruses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't.
Speaking of which, there's a murderer on the ship, so Devereaux's gonna go see if she's okay with this new necklace.
You can. Oh man, there you go. Devereaux doesn't know what we're talking about, so we can't go. Hey, Devereaux, try and get the doctor to leave for a few minutes so that.
No, here's the thing, though. Here was my plan, actually. I was going to ask her for a second opinion on the autopsy.
Ooh, there you go.
Ooh, let me in there.
That was the plan.
Did we lose our GM? Is he dead?
He's muted.
Has there been a second murder?
I assumed he was.
Oh, muted. Totally muted.
Hi.
okay.
What's hilarious is that people were like saying things as if they were responding to me.
Really?
Yeah. So I was just like, "Oh man, yeah, no." And then like the last bit, I was just like, "So okay, is this, and this?" And then nothing happened, and I'm like, "Oh, this is weird."
That's unfortunate. That's happened to me before, though.
Yeah.
Who gets there first, Luke or Devereaux?
Devereaux.
I'd say Devereaux because,
Yeah, but by
because we've been talking for a while.
yeah,
All right,
by
Devereaux.
rule of time travel, yeah.
Devereaux, you knock on her door to see if she's okay. She answers, and assures you that she's okay. Is your necklace visible?
Yes. He has one other.
She's about to close the door when she stops, turns, looks at it, and squints.
It has 2 tied stones to it.
Is that what I think it is?
Is what you think it is.
That on your neck, necklace, 2 stones.
Yeah. Yeah. What about him?
Is that what I think it is?
What do you think it is?
The masquerade.
I mean,
Are you dabbling in black magics now? Or are you stealing from people who dabble in black magics? Either way, that's very dangerous.
I'm just holding on to him until we get to port.
Holding on to them. Not usually the case. Holding on to them leads to keeping them forever. You should probably give those to me.
No.
And why not?
Because they're going to go to either the Port Authority or to our guild.
She puts her hands on her hips. What about me suggest that I won't be handing them to the Port Authority?
Don't know. But I probably shouldn't be giving them to you.
Ah, I see.
One's
Is it
already
because-
been stolen, and I'm keeping an eye on the other 2.
Is it because that you do not trust anyone else with them but you?
No.
Is that why you made necks of them?
No.
And Luke can walk in on this.
I just wanted them nearby and visible so that I can make sure no one takes them.
I'm not going to touch them with my bare hands. I know better than that. I know that
Right.
crest. I know what those do.
Can we just say that Ari and Luke have spoken about the plan ahead of time, and Ari is sort of hanging back, hiding?
I mean,
Sure.
the plan was to talk while walking away from our samurai friend.
Yeah, but I know
So-
what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, so Luke approaches just like, excuse me, doctor,
Ah, doctor. Yes.
am I interrupting something?
Yes, your friend has done a very unintelligent thing.
No, I didn't.
Yes, because keeping dangerous black magical artifacts on your person against your skin for a length of time is absolutely intelligent.
I mean,
Brilliant,
How-
even.
you think so?
No.
I mean,
It's sarcasm.
Oh,
I mean, she's not wrong, but I think what I'm actually here for is I just completed the autopsy a little while ago, and I was wondering if I could get a second opinion just to be a bit more thorough. I'm worried I might have missed something.
Very well, but I would be more about your companion here. I'll leave that to you. She pats you on the shoulder, and we'll head upstairs.
And then I will look at Devereaux and be like, maybe just like have like a bag around them, maybe that might be smarter. I don't know.
Can I be behind Devereaux?
Sure.
She knows what they are.
so does that mean she took one of them, or knows about them? Is she suspicious?
She's the most suspicious person on the ship aside from all of us.
But she's paying us good money.
Not yet.
So
No,
promise.
she's literally giving us the money.
Look, less arguing, more ransacking a room. I'm going to go.
Ransack the room.
Sure. Who's ransacking the room?
Me.
Is Devereaux ransacking the room too?
There might be a third, and the middle of his necklace is looking kind of bare.
Now,
We are
question.
not gonna get through this campaign without every single one of you motherfuckers cursed by a different horror.
Really quick, is Devereaux literate? I forget.
No, he's not. Wait, I can't remember. Is he literate? Because
there's
this is
a law
a campaign
for
that's
it.
global spending.
Do you have the illiterate
check.
flaw?
I feel like he deserves it, but I don't know. Let me see. No, he only has the Outlander flaw, unfortunately. He did not get the illiterate.
You're
Okay.
you're at the very least literate in your native language.
But my native language
the
doesn't have
It's
words.
It does. It does.
Yes, it
Here-
does.
I bring this up because I don't want the two illiterate people ransacking the room finding the confession note and not knowing it's confession note.
No,
this is
I did it.
perfect.
It was me. I was the one.
You know what I mean.
What's this
It's like a
note?
receipt or something.
There's some writing on it. It's probably not important.
It's like Ace Attorney. Just look on the back of the receipt. That solves the entire case.
Okay, so you guys are going to be
It's
ransacking.
only a coupon for buy one, get one free tacos. I don't understand.
You two can both roll awareness for.
Awareness, eh?
That's a 3 and a 3.
Her room is effectively a portable library, it seems. She has most of her luggage in here and opened up. The room is covered in books.
10 and a 4 is 14.
As far as some minor lab equipment. It seems, judging by the books on her desk at the moment, she is researching.
Let's see.
She's researching
Perception.
something.
Rolled a 10 on my perception and a 2 on my awareness, so that's 12. Wait, wouldn't would the trait explode or the talent?
The trade explodes.
Oh, well then shit, son. That's 16.
Oh, snap. Those supernatural senses are finally paying off.
Okay.
Finally.
You got a 16. What did Deborah get?
You got a 14.
Okay. So, I'll say as much that you guys are both looking at different things. The Devereaux, you check on the desk and things that she's reading. She is definitely researching things that are in your tongue.
Oh man.
She is reading books in Old Covenant. And it is things about worms. The big ones, spelled with the Y.
Yeah, no, I know.
And
This is actually the first time he has noticed that because somebody told him about it earlier.
and their anatomy. There are basically she's reading things, and it seems like there is not a comprehensive book on the anatomy of worms.
Isn't this like heretical knowledge for my people?
Yeah, no,
Like-
this is heretical as shit for your people. You're not supposed to be like picking apart or studying your leaders. So this is heretical as shit for your people.
Reading up on how you can kill your leaders is generally frowned upon in most cultures.
Yeah.
If I did it, here's how.
So yeah, that's what you find. And it is, as you said, heretical as shit. And yeah, so it focuses primarily on her research has been primarily on the anatomy. It looks like she's trying to look into diseases that they could carry and what the effects of those are on humans, but she's been hitting a wall. But there's still plenty more for her to go through. Then Ariadne, excuse me, Ariadne, you are looking around. You can't read any of these books.
Useless.
So that's all useless stuff to you. So you start looking around the room itself for any belongings that would be strange. Of course, she has some strange talismans and trinkets and the like, but nothing that seems to exude badness.
Or blood.
Huh?
Or blood.
Or blood, yes. However, it's when you are by the window, the port window, where something's weird. You get a little bit of a draft from the window.
Hmm?
If you look closer, you find that so these port windows are not meant to be opened. They're built into the ship.
Yeah, at first it's like, oh, it's a window. That's normal. Like, wait a minute.
They're not meant to be open. They're meant to be built into the ship, and you can sort of poke your finger through it. It looks like part of the port window has been chipped away. Part of the wood that is keeping it, part of like where it connects to the wood has been chipped away from the outside. But not fully enough to open the window.
I'm sorry, from the outside, trying to get in?
Yes. But not quite enough to open the window.
Someone was trying to get into her quarters through the window. What? How?
Damn it! You mean somebody tried to get in here while I was guarding the other door?
From the outside. Doesn't make sense.
Just to be clear, this is the window that faces the open ocean, right?
Yeah, it's you're not underwater, but
Yeah.
Yeah. facing open ocean.
This doesn't make sense. This had to have been done before we took off. How long was she
No,
saying?
no. Some of the tribe like water a lot. I can see this happening. But no, not on a ship. Not off of Vivonia.
Hmm.
Wait, so question. There's out of character. Am I hearing this right? There's signs that someone tried to get into her room but couldn't.
There's a sign. There's signs that someone tried
was
to
working
pry
on
open
it, but
the
didn't do
window.
it entirely.
Someone tried to pry open the window from the outside.
You know, Deborah's gonna go to the outside
Okay.
and check around, like, the side of the ship.
Okay.
He'll get a rope if he has to.
Sure. Sure. Ariadne, do you follow?
No, I'm not going to go out in the open sea.
That's legit. I'm going to since you guys are leaving though the room, I'm going to cut over to Mr. Sarkis. What are you up to?
I mean, I guess he's going to go. I think one thing he's probably going to go do is go talk to the others, because he hasn't really touched base, and he's cleared like 5 people of not being the killer.
Okay.
So.
Well, you can head up to the captain's quarters where Luke is, and Devereaux just stepped out on deck, followed by Ariadne.
Is Devereaux clearly wearing the stones?
Yes.
Okay. Quick thing first, because the only mind control bullshit that needs to be around is Zaki's mind control bullshit. So he's going to use a suggestion on Devereaux.
Put those away.
Sure.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
Sir, roll suggestion versus we'll say spirit plus courage. Spirit plus courage.
Crap, I forget. I'm super weak when it comes to mental intrusions. I got. Let's see.
So
I
fun
got a
being
1.
on the other, not so fun being on the other end of this, Ed, is it?
Oh no, it's
So-
great.
I got a 9.
Okay.
So he walks up to Devereaux and says, "Those look stupid. Take those off right now."
Can we also really quick? Can we also point out, Ed? Did you just roll a 1?
Yes, I did.
So you crit failed?
Uh-huh.
Persuasive.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
continue.
No, he'll take them off.
yeah.
That's
Is
all
there
it took.
anything else you wanted
Shots
to
to your
do, guys?
vanity.
These look stupid. I am never wearing them again.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want done with those, Zaki?
Not that they're fucking evil, but that
I'll
they
say-
look dumb.
I'll say because he crit failed, you get one more command.
I probably just put those away.
Okay.
He'll put them back in the, like, pull the bag he had out of his pocket and put them in it, and then put it in his pocket. Eyes are just clearly glazed over.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just impressed.
Right. So, I cleared the newlyweds and our drinking friends. none of them are our killer. I'm going to go talk to Kylie next, the New Zazorian woman with the hood.
Seems fair.
Hmm.
Check her window if you can.
What am I looking for specifically?
Tampering.
Okay.
We found what looks like someone was trying to get into a room from the outside.
Okay, Zachy will look over the side of the ship. While we were out here.
Yeah. I might want to check the captain's quarters for something similar. But wait, GM, these what I'm picturing these windows, they don't see. Are they large enough to allow a human body through them?
Yes.
Okay, never mind then. Carry on.
This is a luxury ship.
Big windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Zachy's investigation isn't his strongest suit. He's interested in this in these windows, so he'll go check out the captain's cabin if that's where
That's where Luke and Dr. Tor are.
Yep.
If you so much as push on the window, now that your attention's been drawn to it, they're engaging in an autopsy right now. It's real gross. But now that your attention's been drawn to the window, you find that it is damp below the window, as if water has passed through here. You find that there are wood chips all around the window, and that you just so much have to push a little, and the window comes clean. If you push enough, it'll just fall out.
That'd be super awkward from the outside, pushing it into an autopsy.
Well, no, he went into the quarters.
I like to imagine he stepped over the body. Excuse me.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Luke, you see this?
You notice something over there?
If Zachy's the first one to push on the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zachy will say, "Okay, seems I've solved it.
What?
The window was the real method of entry. The key was a diversion."
I can't say anything against that because the person whose room I had to look into to find out this information is right here. So yes. Wow. Zachy.
Roll social awareness.
I can make a lie check if you really want me
No,
to.
I'm not rolling social
This is
awareness.
perfect.
Yes.
Two people already know you're full of shit. You're only fooling half the people here anyway.
Elsewhere, Emmy.
Oh, yes?
Tetsukan Haru happens to come to the brig.
Greetings, sir.
He nods. Sir Kyuzo. Are you tired?
Mm.
No.
Not at the moment. I have only just started.
That is a silly question. I am also conducting an investigation, you see.
I see. Perhaps we should compare notes?
Yes, perhaps. May I speak with these two in the interim?
Certainly. Yeah, though she will point out, you will have to get the key from the crew. I don't have the key to their cell. I am simply acting as a guard. I
It is
realize
all
that
right.
is
I will speak to them from here.
ah. Yeah, she'll motion for him to go ahead.
All right. He waits, kind of expecting privacy.
Oh. Yeah. You know what? She'll nod because I won't even roll social awareness because she trusts him implicitly. He isn't going to. She trusts that he is not going. She doesn't even think that he would just murder them in cold blood or otherwise do anything untoward. So
Why do we
she
all
will
have
she will
Harry
walk
flaws?
she will walk far enough away to be out of earshot. Depending on the layout of the ship, she might still be in eye shot, but she will.
It's up to you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, unless he seems to indicate she should go further. Like I said, she assumes that as long as she can't hear what he says, it's fine. So,
Okay. Roll me awareness.
all right. Oh, there's a D8 and a D6. And no, that was the skill. So 10.
Okay. You catch out of the corner of your eyes. He takes out a key after talking to them. Takes out a key and opens the door. The two of them take several steps back, cowering from him.
She will start to head over there then.
Okay.
Is everything okay? She considers this may just be an intimidation tactic if he thinks they are holding back from them, but
Everything is fine. Do not worry. My new friends and I are merely having a talk.
of
And
course.
the Mary Beth is just like, he's gonna kill us.
Okay, now I'll roll social awareness. I do not think. Well, I'm going to go ahead and assume she can just tell. They definitely think he is going to kill them.
Yeah, go ahead and roll social awareness.
She will roll social awareness on him. This will probably not be easy. That one will be. I chose wisely on that D8. So 15.
You know, I was rolling a D20 and a D12.
Wow.
And guess what I rolled?
15.
5.
Also, holy shit, he is a lot of stats.
His hand is on his blade. It is on the hilt. That is all I will say.
If I may, sir, it would be far beneath you to stain your blade with them. They are thieves, yes, but
He's going to turn. He's going to and he is going to attempt to lock himself in with them and lock you out.
okay, something is definitely going wrong. Okay,
because he's inside and you're not. So
She
he's
is
going to attempt to close the door.
She will dash in first, as she is
All
definite.
right.
If there's one thing she is good at, she is quick.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
This may backfire on her because she does not stand a significantly better chance than them if she is locked in this cell with them. That I assume that would be quickness plus athletics.
Yep.
Should that is a 14 to rush the door.
14 to rush the door. You got a 15.
I don't suppose the fact that he is trying to do something more complex in the short time takes into account.
Yeah, he shuts the door but is unable to lock it. He does, however, buy himself a little time. As he turns from you and goes to lean forward and just says, "This one, these two, are not beneath me." And
Sir, think of your honor. Think of your lord's honor. And even if it just stalls him, she is going to enter.
you can do a you can roll charm.
Oh boy, I'll give it a shot, I guess. Do I get any kind of bonus for our previous encounters?
Say I'll say a +2 bonus.
Hey. Okay. And that actually okay, we're okay. That would be that. Wow. I actually maxed out all my dice on that.
Nice.
So, 12, 16, 18.
Okay. You give him pause long enough that you're able to enter.
Sir, if you indeed have a legitimate quarrel with them, I will not stop you, though I would at least ask that you wait to explain yourself and cease until the investigation is done. They may yet be able to play in a role to find the murderer.
He smiles a little and then shakes his head. The blood of these two is poisoned.
You're referring to the artifacts.
Yes, I am. As the captain before them,
You were...
their blood is poisoned, carrying with them a sickness, the marsh sickness. Wherever they go, immune to its effects, but forever tainted by it.
It does not prevent them from being contagious.
They go wherever they would like. They poison their souls however they like.
Sir, did you kill the captain?
My imperative is to stop the spread of this sickness. That is my lord's orders.
I assume that in Sasaki that's basically a yes.
Yes. As long as they live, they will carry the sickness. They will spread it to everyone they encounter. And as they have poisoned their souls, they will invite more. They will carry more. As their blood turns black, they will carry and they will spread.
We have confiscated their relics. They cannot hide it anymore.
They held them for too long. Cut them. You'll find their blood is already stained.
And what is this blackness? Is this something other? This is something other than the plague rot?
Indeed. It is something from deeper. It's the body. It's in the soul. Something they've lost. That they've sold.
Is it in itself contagious?
No, but it will invite contagion. It will invite disease, and they will carry many. Yet be immune to all.
But they will lose that immunity without their stones.
The deaths of the captain and these two will ensure the lives of many.
If you believe so, why did you not act openly?
He looks at you. Would you have stopped me?
I do not know, but I still believe that this should have been. We are sword masters. We are supposed to fight with honor, not murder someone by slitting their throat when they are defenseless.
Never go to war, young Emmy. It will change you. Do you intend to stop me?
On my honor as a sword master, I cannot let you kill them in cold blood.
By Lord Amagata's orders, I could not let them persist.
I
I
may not have been,
apologize, Sir Kyuzo. I am fond of you. You have a future ahead of you that few could ever claim. But I must abide my orders.
I understand. I may not have liked them, and I may not have understood, or I may not have liked your orders. But know that I would not, if you had carried them out with honor, perhaps this would have been different.
He will adopt a stance as if to draw.
She will adopt her own stance. Oh god, is this where we're ending the session?
Fuck it, yeah, this is where we're in the session. That's what I am.
I was kind of hoping, like, this is a very to be continued moment.
This is the most to be continued moment.
What's the meme? It's a very roundabout moment. I knew that song before it was a meme.
I did as well. There are people that still won't believe me that that's a song. Like, somebody I talked to is convinced that they made that song for that
Oh.
show. I'm pretty sure it was a song first.
Hey, guess what? All of reality is a JoJo's reference.
Really
So what
is.
do you guys think? Did you have fun?
I did.
I knew it. I knew it was gonna be him. God damn it! I knew it because it would be the most dramatic thing, and also he is the one character that can act as a boss.
It's clearly this guy that I can implicitly trust without questioning.
Yep.
So any thoughts or comments, questions?
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed Emmy because she is not gonna survive the next session.
I mean,
For
she
sure.
might.
Yeah.
Make enough noise and I can come in and shoot him.
Yeah, well, you're a scuffle, I'm sure.
So you know what the dumb thing is? This is a matter of honor. If you arrive, she will tell you to back off. She cannot stop you from, say, going after him if she is defeated or killed, but she is going to duel this man. It will be the point she has made will be rendered moot if there is dishonor on her end of it.
The point she has made will be rendered moot if his brains are blown out either way.
Look,
So I have a question. Did you guys like the investigation part?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't expect to be like so fast in finding like a major plot point.
Yeah. If there was one there was the detail of the window is actually in the captain's quarters. I think someone had like basically failed to find it. Like someone had rolled a 2 or something.
It's probably me.
I think that was Ariadne when she first investigated.
Yeah.
She rolled low to find. She rolled low. I think she actually looked for possible entry points, and she rolled pretty low.
She looked for entry points, and she had crit failed or something like
Oh,
that.
Hi, you're welcome.
Now, guys,
So-
should I go full Renfield with these stones?
Oh yeah,
Or-
if you just so you know, now that you have those, if you want them, you can have them.
I mean, it's not a
Um,
complete set.
If should any injury should you take an injury or become sick with something, you can choose to gain madness to cure yourself.
Oh, Emmy is not letting you keep those.
Devereaux
No,
doesn't
see-
take
see-
those off.
See, when I said go full
the-
Renfield, I mean, is he going to swallow them when no one's looking?
God damn it.
That seems like a bad idea.
It's a
Oh,
very
man.
bad idea.
this campaign's going great. Someone's already losing their fucking mind.
And it's Ed. What a surprise.
I know, like I said, this is an option. I could just give the stones back and be like, okay, we had a deer brush.
The
I'm not gonna go
worse
crazy.
the worse the injury, the more madness you take when you use the stones to cure it. So say a lost limb will net you a significant amount of madness, but it will heal.
Clearly, the answer is to tie them to the end of a stick, injure somebody, and then smack them with it to drive them insane.
I'm gonna cut off this guy's leg, and now I'm gonna smack him with these stones until the leg grows back and he loses his fucking mind.
It's the only humane way to do it.
Chaotic. Chaotic good?
It stops being good after a while.
I mean,
After like
this
the
is
10th limb.
This is why you don't have a rogue and a cleric in the same party.
So
Slit their throat and then revive them as torture. Just to say, like, are you gonna tell us now? Sluts. So, this is why D&D is horrible. Anyways.
So, Nate, two things. One is that do you have a good template I can copy for like the wounds and fatigue like levels?
Oh,
Since that's going to become very relevant next session.
yes, it will.
I may survive. I'm definitely not going to be unscathed.
Don't worry. We'll get you fixed up if you have any problems.
Hey, Emmy, you want some more madness?
Everyone's got you.
Hey, she avoided the first bit of madness.
He loves you, and he can't stand to see you hurt.
You know, like if she is dying, I would totally buy that he would do that to heal her.
But yeah, no, it depends. As like out of game, as fellow role players, do you guys think I should just take this madness down, train, or like should I like tone it back a little bit because
probably tone it back because I imagine our characters are used to dealing with weird stuff and they know to be a bit wary of them.
I'll say right now, used to dealing with weird stuff, not this level of weird stuff.
Okay.
But also, too, what if it's like subjecting yourself little by little to build up an immunity? Arcane powder.
But
yeah, a little madness won't hurt me.
But
in fact, it'll heal you.
But yeah, so basically, you guys are used to weird artifacts and such things, but like your adventures have been more high adventure or Indiana Jones styles of things.
So an artifact that is probably cursed and probably involves one of the aspects is
that one's a little out of your league.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, unless these things have an actual effect that they are like addictive or mind affecting, you are probably wary enough not to become. Unless you would just really like the idea of being invincible, but probably suffering some kind of curse.
I was just going on the euphoria of feeling great for the first time in like ages. That and a little bit of madness. So he like made a necklace out of it.
Now, granted, you haven't taken enough madness that you
lose your mind.
That you so you'll notice your madness track. When you fill that up, you bring it back down to 0, and you take a mental flaw.
Oh,
okay. That's right.
Yeah, no, the character sheet you gave me does not have madness on it. I had to add that.
Whoops, my bad.
Yeah, it was only the partial you gave everybody instead of like filling out a character.
Oh, yeah, my mistake. I need to. I'll fix that up in the final one. But yeah, when you fill up your madness track, you reset it to 0 and add a mental flaw to represent to represent you having permanently lost something of yourself.
So he's not nearly as bad off as I thought he was.
No. Now here, the thing is, madness doesn't go away.
I mean, that's fair.
It isn't like it's unlike other wound tracks. It only comes in entries of like 1 whenever it shows up. It just doesn't go away. Not without serious psychological help. Which doesn't really exist in this time.
And that group was called the Carnival?
The Masquerade.
The Masquerade.
The Masquerade.
It's a literary reference.
To a particular Red Death.
Yes, I got that.
Plagues. Disease.
I thought you were referencing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines with a plague bear cult that you have to kill.
No. Literary run. literary.
No, it'll be fine. We just keep all the sick people out.
It's great, guys. It's great.
We'll just have this heathenistic party here. We're fine. Debauchery, that's our gig.
Yeah, totes. So experience point to everybody.
Yay.
I'm gonna go ahead and put forward playing the in play of my flaws.
Get an extra experience point for in play of your flaws.
As they are entirely possibly going to get me imminently killed.
Yep. Anyone else have any flaws they want to argue?
I mean, unless you want to count me being illiterate, missing all that juicy stuff in the doctor's room.
No.
No, it's fine.
That was sort of bonus stuff. If they had been relevant to the actual investigation,
Yeah.
probably.
Anyone
I'll
else?
see you in like 3 more sessions, or like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I'm just curious about the Covenant of Tribes and their opinions on magic.
Pretty
witchcraft.
okay with magic.
Okay, so me having these things would be okay, and the fact that she's studying worms is just bad.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see wanting this necklace now.
Also, Nate, I realized belatedly that you gave me a clue that I did not get.
What's that?
Because I thought it was just general, oh, they're dead thing. The captain kept complaining that he was starting to feel cold.
Yep. It was cold.
Because the window was opened.
Yep.
That motherfucker hung off the side of a ship and carved away at solid wood to open a window.
Yeah, Swordmaster is definitely capable of that. That's probably something that would have come up if, Emmy had been, not that she would have suspected it, but if we had thought, who's physically capable of this? Yeah, Haru Tetsuken.
The timetable for this particular segment is open. It could go on 1 session, it could go on multiple sessions. I was trying to keep it limited to 1 session, that if you hadn't found the killer by the end of the session, then I would have.
I like that it only lasted 1 session, because keeping everything together, like with notes and stuff, over multiple sessions can be exhausting.
And
at the end of the session, then I was just like, okay, they haven't found the killer yet. He's going to
make a move.
No,
that's fair. And the thing is, I appreciate that, because also we also, because of our investigation, we had somebody guarding these two. We pegged them as the next targets. We had somebody guarding them, and therefore we actually got to witness this. Otherwise, we might have just found them dead and still had no idea who did it.
Exactly. If you hadn't been guarding them, he would have actually come to you, and admitted his crimes. And asked that you aid him in his death after his business is attended to.
Oh God, that'd be pretty terrible. So he was planning on doing this and then committing seppuku
after his business in Vontier is taken care of.
Ugh. This might extend too, by the way. Speaking of Emmy taking on way too many things.
Yeah.
If we end up killing him, Emmy will probably be honor bound to attempt to carry out his task.
There you go.
And meet with the lords about stopping the plague. Unless Nate decides that's just way off in a direction he didn't intend, in which case we can come up with some way she.
No. I mean, I can accept it. I can improvise that.
I mean, that'll probably happen when she gets back to Czezok, but
no, he was meeting with somebody in Vontier. He was actually going to the capital.
He was going to be meeting with the Bastille.
Right. Sorry.
And she would have to she would feel honor bound to attempt to salvage that, since I guess it would depend. I guess I could make her, depending on if she thought what would be more appropriate to do, like. Mm-hmm. Should she simply write a letter and send a message back explaining the events and that they will need to send another representative, or would she be like, or would the society say, well, she needs to take responsibility for this?
Your interpretation. That is whatever Emmy would feel. Both would be appropriate.
Okay. There's no clear right answer. Then
No,
it's
there's no
just
clear right answer to this one. Both
That's life
both
sack.
would be absolutely appropriate, so it really is Emmy's interpretation.
God damn it, Emmy. Your proud flaw is going to be the death of you and the annoyance of the entire party.
I am going to give an extra experience point to Ed though, because his flaw, the Outlander flaw would have played into this with being okay with magic and therefore putting this around his neck.
Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough. I didn't even think about that. I will take that. You know what? I'm gonna get some courage.
Damn it, Ed! Why don't you say a susceptible pawn?
Should I put points into something I used this session, or should I attempt to salvage my predicament and up my sword play?
Would you like my suggestion?
Yeah.
Probably salvage your predicament.
Okay. Yeah, I figure I can upgrade my sword, or I could go even further. How much damage does a katana do by default, out of curiosity?
The melee weapons in general do a significant amount of damage.
Thinking about it,
Well,
guys.
the reason I ask is because my key attack deals D8. I want to know if actually just hitting somebody with the sword does more.
I think it will do more.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll up sword play.
Nate, I put down spears 1 point in that, the first session. I'm wondering, can I swap that out for knives since it'd be more readily available and easier for him to carry?
If you think that's what, like you haven't
Like a
used
hunting
spears.
knife.
Yeah, I generally allow that for players like after playing their characters for a few sessions, going, "Oh, this doesn't seem to be that make much sense," but I did buy it anyway.
I mean,
Yeah.
I could still see having it just by throwing javelins.
It's up to you, man. If you think that it'd be more fitting for your character that actually it was knives, then by all means.
Oh, he has a bow. Yeah, I'll go with the knife.
Okay.
So I have something that's close range.
Okay.
Since I apparently love running into danger, really close danger as an archer.
Are you thinking knives instead of a bow, or?
No. He still has his bow. I just had 1 point in spears. Because in my mind, throwing javelins and things like that, but it's smarter to have knife.
That's cool. You can change that.
The best weapon. It's small. It can't break.
All right. Well, does anyone else have any questions, comments?
No. I'm sleepy.
Okay. I'm glad that people had fun. We will
I had the fun time.
continue this next week.
All right.